Hey guys, Corey here, bringing you guys another killer unbeaten Town Hall 13 war base, this one with 5 defenses, not yet defeated. And I'm also going to tell you in this video exactly where you can find the base link to immediately copy this base. Here is the scout view of the base for you, just in case you're not able to make links work. For some reason, you can still do it the old-fashioned way, take a screenshot on one device, copy it on the other. I don't recommend changing traps, Teslas, or defensive CC. If you do that, it's not going to defend the way that it was designed to defend, so you have been warned. Next, we're going to show some defensive replays of this base defending, and then I'm going to tell you exactly where to find the link to copy this base. For defense number 1, enemy team's going to be trying a Yeti smash with 2 P.E.K.K.A.s out in front, 5 healers, and 7 Yetis. Looks like possibly a backside stone slammer, although the attacker might change that to a siege barracks. We will see. Starting it off with the warden walk on the left-hand side, trying to take out all the structures on the outside, making sure that the funnel is set for the Yetis to go into the core straight in to that town hall compartment. I would imagine the next jump's going to go over an X-bow in the middle to open up the eagle compartment and the backside of the base. King's coming down on the bottom right-hand side there, trying to cut in the other side of that funnel, making sure that the troops, the rest of the army goes inside the base. King's he's gonna end up walking left instead of continuing to funnel the outside trash. Usually if it's me, I want him to continue down the side and continue funneling all that outside stuff so that none of your core troops decide to backtrack halfway through the attack. He's going to be popping that king ability so he can get some more health out of him as he's running into that base, getting the Yetis down. And here we go. Got a rage coming into this town hall. Look for that Grand Warden to be used nice and early to cover that town hall explosion damage. They're being frozen by a bunch of defensive ice golems. This base is running 3 defensive ice golems in it. Now, it looks like he is going to be... Wow, he's using that Royal Champion already to take out an air defense, so I'm guessing that he is going to be using... Oh my gosh, he uses the Royal Champion on one side and drops his hogs and siege barracks on the other side. Guys, oh man, I would never do that. I like to bring my Royal Champion in right behind my hogs coming out of the siege barracks. It just gives the Royal Champion so much more tanking, so much more time to do a ton of damage in the base, but he uses the Royal Champion on the left side, hogs on the right. He does have a heal for the hogs, but that's not going to stop them from being sprung by spring traps, and if they're coming into too much DPS, a heal is just not enough to keep them going for long enough in the base. Queen is separated from the rest of the troops in the core, as she often does in this type of attack. The raged up troops usually go out in front of her, clearing buildings, clearing structures. She tends to go off to one side or the other, usually without her healers. You could usually get some more value out of her by popping her ability, but she generally does not survive the raid on these style of attacks. So Yetis are coming around on the right hand side. He's got a significant number of Yetis and a P.E.K.K.A. left and some wizards, but with that multi-target Inferno on the inside not being reachable without breaking at least 1 or 2 walls, that means that those Yetis are going to die before they have a chance to get in there and take out that multi-target Inferno. If it was just edge defenses and structures, might have a chance. Of course, if it wasn't for time, he's going to run out of time on this one as well, but he just does not have enough steam to get through the rest of this base. If it were me, I maybe would have tried sending the Royal Champion right after hogs and the siege barracks and seeing if that gave me a little bit better luck than what the attacker had on this one. Next attempt on this base is going to be that hybrid attack. It's a queen charge, and then on the back end we got 14 miners, 15 hogs, and that's pretty close to standard for that army composition. The idea being that the miners can go in, kill the heroes if needed, while the hogs are really, providing that muscle that's direct targeting those defenses, doing a ton of DPS, and when they work together, they can get a lot done. Nice little start for this queen charge here. Going to take out an air defense nice and early. Right after that air defense goes down, that's when I would be dropping in a Coco Loon, but the attacker might forget to drop the Coco Loon here. He does have 2 of them just in case. Ooh, looks like a healer ate something down there in the bottom. I couldn't quite see it, but I'm guessing it was a Seeking Air Mine, just like what those loons were supposed to be protecting. Now he's in big trouble. That town hall's already locked onto his healers. Oh my gosh. He's only got like 2 healers left at this point. Oh my gosh. Those 3 ice golems, if you're going to want to break in there and deal with that town hall, those ice golems are really going to hold you up. And if you wall break as late as the attacker did here, he's just lost all of his healers to that town hall. And man, that queen goes down way too early. He's got 3 heals, 2 rages, Grand Warden, and a Royal Champion. But without getting more value for that queen charge, I just don't think there's any way. In fact, I know there's no way this attack is going to get the rest of this base. You've still got both scatter shots. You've got 2 multi-target Infernos. You got the Eagle still up. You got most, if not all, the Expos and the Tesla farm still up. And this attack is going to fall well short. I believe this one ends in an 82% on this attempt. He's raging and healing them through that core. Look at that Royal Champion still not taking any damage because she had hogs and miners out front. Now we got more hogs coming in from the left-hand side out of that siege barracks. It's just not going to be enough. There was too much defenses, too much base left. And look at this, Royal Champion's coming in. She has used her ability already, so she is going to go down to this Barbarian King. She was so close to the scatter shot, it could not target her, but it's going to make really short work out of the rest of those remaining hogs. So here we go. Now that we know this one is done, we're going to times 4 it to the end and go check out the last example. Then we're going to talk about the base link. All 3 attacks, different types of attacks that defended on this as well. I saved the best for last because this is the attack that got the closest to 3-starring this base. He's going to get pretty darn close, but still going to fall short. We got that same queen charge that the last attacker was attempting to use as well. Let's see if this attacker does a better job with it. We got the Ice Golem over on the right-hand side. I'm not really, it must just be for funneling purposes over there. We got a raged wall break. Look at that. Getting that wall break sooner helps, but he also does not use a Coco Loon, so a healer goes down, or at least down to almost no health very, very early. Now we got those 3 ice golems on the queen. You better believe she's going to be stuck for quite a while, dealing with and being frozen by each one of those 3 ice golems, one right after the other. Freezing, busting another one, freezing again. Now we got some loons coming down on the left-hand side. Looks like 2 of them to take out that cannon for some reason. Must have a wizard that he wants to get over there, kind of try and start cutting the funnel, or probably more likely to determine the direction that the king's going to walk. He wants the king to walk down the outside of the base. Queen is taking another rage down there on the bottom. She was down to a sliver of health, but he manages to barely hold on to that ability. Oh my gosh, Queen's taking damage from 3-point defenses, including 2 ground expos right now. Luckily, her healers are still raged. They're going to see her through. Now we got miners coming in. King on the left-hand side to take out that Tesla farm so that the miners can stay focused in the core. Now, he's out of rages for his queen. He's got to jump to get her to the backside, and he does still have her ability, but that scatter shot is raining down on her, and I don't know if that ability is going to be enough to get her through the backside of this base. Now she's going to be taking damage from that scatter shot, and man, and a ground bow. She is going down. This backside of the base is pretty heavy with those 2 multi-target Infernos, plenty of expos, and a scatter shot, not to mention the Royal Champion and the King, which are both going to do damage to ground troops as they're coming through. Enemy's Royal Champion pops her ability, takes out a few more of those defenses, which definitely helps out. And that healer swap to the Royal Champion is honestly, I think, the only reason why this one even gets close. Otherwise, those hogs would have been done by now. Royal Champion would have been done by now. Yeah, that healer swap, which is going to be really hard to duplicate, is the only reason this one gets crazy close. Now, of course, the healers decide to go heal their favorite useless target, the Grand Warden. I don't know how many times that's happened to me towards the end of the attack, but kudos to the attacker. It was definitely the closest attempt on this base. So, guys, now, the spot to find the base link is going to be at the very bottom of the description of this video. You might have to click an arrow or click see more to expand the details of this video out. But once you do that, you scroll down past all my other links. Down at the very, very bottom, that is where you're going to find the base link to copy this base instantly. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. On your screen right now, there should be a link to my War Bases playlist. In that playlist, you're going to find a ton of other killer and unbeaten war bases, everything from Town Hall 10 all the way up through Town Hall 13. Got some other great videos for you on the other side, and the button in the middle to subscribe to the channel so you're not missing any new attack strategies, not missing any new bases that are coming out. Friends, I'll see you in the next video.